Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. If you're new around here, please subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss a video. Keen FAI Cup weekend, no St. Patrick's Athletic unfortunately, but plenty of ties to get our teeth into. I'll start off with tonight, obviously Galway United taking on Shelbourne in DC Park. That's a 7:45, and I believe that one's on Watch LOI, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's an interesting one. Before we actually get into it, I think there's going to be there'll be one or two surprises this weekend. The question is where they're going to land. Do you see one here? Galway, Shelbourne?
You could very much see one here regarding like Caulfield's first game in charge, and you know it brings a bit of buzz around the place. I thought he'd get, if the crowds were there, I think he'd get a few bums on seats himself. Never mind for anything else, but it's going to be a tight game. I can't see Shells having it any way easy. I'm going to go for a Galway 1-0.
Interesting. I'm going to go for Shells to nick this one 1-0. You made a point there that got me thinking, actually. It's probably a disadvantage to the so-called lesser clubs, the fact that they can't get crowds in, because, you know, if you're Shelbourne, you're going to Galway, let's say, and there's a decent Galway contingent there. Caulfield's first game, as you say, as well. It kind of lends more for a surprise, in my view. I do think Shelbourne, Shelbourne, they keep it tight. No matter what they're playing, who they're playing, their game plan's the exact same.
Yeah.
But I think Galway struggle for goals. I think they'll struggle to break down Shelbourne. So there might be a few changes in the Shelbourne team as well. Who knows? But I'd go for Shelbourne to win this match. Would you agree with that, with the crowds and that kind of thing in terms of the
yeah, look, it's a big loss. Like we seen last night, there was 20 Rovers fans in the corner at the game, and it was
sad in a way. Yeah, I thought it's kind of sad as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
but great in one way, but sad in another way.
Just to hear a bit of noise at a game, and to hear a bit of singing, and I think it's a big loss it's a huge loss to Galway, obviously, in the first game in the cup, and it's a huge game because, let's be honest, the league is gone nearly. Like, promotion is much so gone in my eyes for them. But I was just looking at, the cup is all they have, really.
Yeah, they could sneak a playoff. You never know, because it mightn't take much. Yourself, like, they got to roll. But that's that one. Anyway, Athlone 10 and Wexford. Now this is interesting because Wexford won there handy enough in the league. Wexford have been on an awful run lately. They've conceded goals. They're not scoring goals. I can see Athlone maybe getting a bit of revenge here and nicking this one 2-1.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight game. You can't call these type of matches. I don't know. We haven't even a clue. I'll be honest, we haven't a clue here.
Penalties.
This is me going off with rocker. I think I'll go for a Wexford win. I think they might bounce back. They have that strong squad. They have a stronger squad than Athlone, but that's the only reason.
Yeah, Athlone did have a bad result last week. They were beaten 4-0 by Rovers B, so that would have stung them as well, wouldn't it? But as you say, it's a very difficult one to judge. What score did you go, by the way?
Or
did you go score?
No, I don't think I did I?
Can't remember.
I'll tell you, I'll say 2-0 Wexford.
Yeah, because I was just about to say, I think there might be goals in this game. So they're both leaky at the back, and they have been the last few weeks, haven't they? But look, whoever wins that, it's going, like, we're talking about the last 8 here. So whoever wins this is in the last 4. So incredible stuff. Drogheda United tomorrow, 5 o'clock rather, take on Derry City. I think this one could be a banana skin for Derry City. Derry, very disappointing result, I have to say, in the Europa the other day there as well. I think, personally, they've brought in a lot of new players, and they've actually started them all pretty much as well, which I think they're struggling to deal with that a little bit. They've got some players like Harkin and Mallon who, in my view, should be starting more often, particularly when they know the place a bit more. Drogheda, good side. They're definitely capable of taking a scalp here up there in Division 1. Okay, that's going to be their priority. But, you get a bit of money for getting into the next round as well. So that's another thing that has to be taken into account in the FAI Cup. So how do you see this one going?
What's an extra 3 or 4 games? You know what I mean? That's what people will be looking at it that way as well. You know, they got every team that's in it wants to win the cup. I think it is going to be another tight one. I don't think there's going to be many runaways in this league, or sorry, in this cup weekend. I think they're all going to be tight games. They could all go either way. But I just fancy Derry. I think like I'm just going by recent results after it. Like, there's no question the European one was a bad one. Like, you know, we should be looking now and saying that the Lithuanian league is high enough, but you know, you'd like to think they could have got something out of it. But coming to, I just think they'll bounce back. I think they have a tendency to lose a game and then they just bounce back. So I think they will bounce back. Like, I think like they have to start prioritising the cup. I think if Derry were to win the cup this year, it'd be some season for them, considering like all the turmoil that went on and everything. But I just think they have enough firepower to beat Drogheda.
I think you're right in terms of the quality. I think they have a lot of quality, but it's all individualistic at the moment. I think they don't look a little bit like Pats, actually, to a degree. A lot of changes. They don't look like a team yet or something like that. But having said that, when you look at Derry's bench, that Harkin and Mallon and players like that, Hamill has been on the bench. There's a few others. You kind of say to yourself, they have to be winning games, like with the firepower they have. But I don't know. I'm on the fence with this one. I find it very awkward because I do think there's going to be a First Division club is going to be the Premiership club, I think, over the weekend. I'm just not sure where. I can see this going all the way. I don't know. I'm going to go 1-1, and I mean penalties after that. Who knows? I don't draw them.
Penalties now. Who are you picking?
I have to pick some of the penalties. Jesus, look, I'm gonna go draw it down penalties. I'd be sick now if Derry win on penalties. But I think it's gonna be tight that way as well. I believe all these ties will go to extra time penalties if you do, etc. But Saturday as well, Bray Wanderers take on Finn Harps, Carlisle Grounds. That one's a bit later. It's on at 7:45. Now this is another. I don't know if this is even seen as a banana skin, but I think Bray can nick this one at the Carlisle Grounds. Finn Harps, I wouldn't say there's an awful lot between them. No, quality.
There's not a lot between them at all. I just think what Harps lack and everything else they have in work rate and
that's it.
And everything. Honestly, I think like they're not. Let's say they're not blessed with the greatest players. That's no disrespect.
Barry McNamee aside, I must admit, he's a good
he hasn't done much at all. Let's be honest. Not
in the last few years. No,
he hasn't done much since he left Derry. To be honest, I don't think. He was hard. He was a passenger on the Cork side when they were good. You know, I don't know. I rate him very highly at Derry. Don't get me wrong.
You know what it is, Keane? Actually, coming back to that very quickly, I think with Cork, like John Caulfield isn't a manager that plays football per se. McNamee's a footballer. Finn Harps, same kind of thing. In a way, it's a strange move for him. There's strange moves for him to make because he doesn't really fit into those systems of play.
No.
I don't know if that's impacting on him a little bit. That said, he did play well generally against Waterford and that, but you know, there's strange moves for him now. I think Finn Harps might have suited him in terms of work and things like that. So things like that come into effect, don't they? But just strange moves for him, in my view, I think.
Yeah, no, it is. But I think Harps make up for whatever they don't have in quality they have in work rate and effort and for every ball. So I just think I fancy Harps to win it. I'll get a bit of stick because I'll never give Bray a win on this podcast ever. But I just think Harps have enough to win it.
Yeah, the problem is, Keane, I never give Bray a win on this show, and I never give Finn Harps a win on this show. So I'm damned on this one. Can I take penalties again?
Oh God.
I don't know. My hunch is telling me Bray, so I'm going to go with Bray. Look, it's going to be very tight because no matter what, Finn Harps aren't going to concede a lot of goals. It actually could well go to penalties as well, but just not to be boring, I'm going to go 1-0 Bray in this one. All right.
I'm going to go 1-0 Harps.
I'm waiting for. That's a good happy medium. Yeah. So one of us, we won't get pissed on by Bray and Finn Harps fans, like, you know what I mean?
No.
So, right, so we're on to Sunday now. Cobh Ramblers and Dundalk on Sunday, 5 o'clock. Now, an awful lot of people are going to see. I know Dundalk fans who are actually seriously concerned about this one, believe it or not.
This is, let's say, this is probably the second. I'll tell you in a minute now what my favourite game of the weekend is, but I think this is my second favourite. I'm looking forward to this big time. I was in Cobh the last time they beat them in the League Cup semi-final. They beat them. They played Derry in the final up in the Brandywell. What year was it?
Something, wasn't it?
2017, wasn't it?
17, I think. Yeah, you're right.
17 or 18. But
they actually played Dundalk in the FAI Cup the same week, I think, as they played in the League Cup. But anyway, yeah.
But it's just, I just feel like it's definitely a huge banana skin for Dundalk. I think there's no pressure on Cobh, not in the slightest.
They've been in good form, Cobh. You know, I know it's the first division, but they have been in good form.
But they're going to be looking at Dundalk's antics over the last couple of weeks, and they're going to be taking all that in, and they're going to be going out there. But anyone that thinks Cobh are favourites, there's something wrong with them, honestly. I think there's a chance that Cobh could get something out of it. I think it's big. It's a big chance that they could get, especially being at home. Obviously, no fans. Oh, I can't. I can see Dundalk getting back to winning ways, and you know it'd be great. Let's say for the league to see a Cobh win it, or it'd be great for, let's say, the fourth division even. But at the same time, like, you can't see Dundalk losing. Like, even though they've had taken all what happened into effect and the new gaffer and stuff like that. I don't know. I think Dundalk will win.
Score?
Oh, forgot about that. Right. What we go for here? I'll go over a 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, I'm thinking around the same lines. I think they might concede because the defence has been all over the place. 3-1 for me. I just think they'll have too much individual quality and firepower, and I think that should be enough to beat middle enough, let's say, first division club. Even if things are not going well at Dundalk, I still think that's enough in my view for them. And it could be in a way, I know we were calling it banana skin all, but in a way it could be a good start for the new manager to have a fixture like this. Now we might be saying something different on Monday or Tuesday or whatever, but no, I can't see it here. 3-1 Dundalk for me, really. UCD and Sligo Rovers Sunday that's 7:45. So again, they're all kind of banana skins.
This is the game that I was most looking forward to watching.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not on the stream. But I was thinking this is a perfect game. Two teams that play fantastic football. Two teams that get the ball down, fast paced. I'm raged it's not on the stream.
You're right. It is a real pity it's not on the stream. Sligo's been playing the best football in the Premier Division for the last month, hands down. UCD, okay, they can be a bit naive at times, but they've been very good in the last few weeks. That lends to an excellent game, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm raging now. This is my favourite game of the weekend. Now, since the draw was out, I was excited for this. I just think you have to go for Sligo, considering everything that's taken into account. So I'm going to go Sligo 2-0. But I just think it'll be comfortable enough for them. I think they'll have the firepower like Junior and stuff like that. Coughlin has been really good. But you know what? I think I just think they're solid as well. They're not leaking goals. Obviously, they conceded 3 against Cork. I think, in all honesty, I think that 3 was.
That's an off game for.
Yeah, no, but not even that. I just think I flattered Cork a little bit. I seen the highlights back, and I just think I flattered them. I don't think I was 3-0 ever in the game. I fancy Sligo to win this 2-0, but I'm really looking forward to this game. I'll be looking for the highlights. I'll be looking for stuff the minute it's out. Like,
I'm going a funny score here. I think I should get 10 points if I get this right. 4-2 Sligo.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be serious goals this game. I think UCD have Whelan and Madai up front, who are probably both, certainly Madai, capable of playing in upper division, and they have they've good energy in midfield as well. Like Kearney and Doyle and players that are nice footballers. You know, they mightn't, you know what I mean. They mightn't be able to dig out results, but they're nice footballers. We're talking about this game. You know, Sligo just have been excellent the last few weeks. I can't see them letting up. They just have too much ability, let's say, for UCD, and if they play with good work ethic, which I don't see why they won't, I can see them banging in a few goals here. I think they'll go through. And Sligo, this could be a funny one. Sligo are my dark horses for the cup as well, Cian, to be honest. If they can avoid, you know, Rovers, Dundalk, well, maybe Dundalk, but particularly Rovers and Bohs, the way they're playing at the moment in general, because I wouldn't see them beating the two of them, if you understand what I mean, but they could take one of them in a one-off game. So depending what way the draw goes, I think Sligo could be a decent dark horse shout for the cup. On to Tal Stadium, obviously on Monday. This is at 17:45. Shamrock Rovers taking on Cork, so Rovers get a decent break, to be fair, following their exploits last night. They beat Cork 6-0 the last time these teams met in the league at Tal Stadium. I don't see that this time. I think Cork have, you know, stemmed the tide a little bit, but at the same time, I can't see Cork getting out of this game. I'm going to go 2-0 Shamrock Rovers. Difficult to see Cork scoring, actually.
Yeah, I can't see Cork win the game. I can't now, but like considering them taking into effect like last night, Rovers, how well they done, like twice, they were behind twice, down to 10 men. I think the referee had a shocker, to be honest with you, but they just bounced back. And they have that bounce back ability. They have that fight for everything. And now, let's be honest, you don't expect anything less, especially from a Shamrock Rovers team. I think that's the bare minimum. But they just done it so well last night. And I think, like, I know this is a cup, we're talking about the cup, but I think, like, last night's result is going to push them all the way this year. And
you think that'll give them a bit of, I suppose, confidence in the way?
Now, I'll be honest, I didn't see the game. I paid for it, but I didn't see it. But I just, like, considering how like they went down 12 minutes to go, the 2-1 down again. Then Scales get sent off and they get back to 2-1. Everything went against them. A dodgy back pass. I don't know whether it should have been. I couldn't say it, to be honest. But people are saying it was a dodgy back pass. A man has picked it up and, you know, it was cleared off the line now. But they dug in. They dug deep. But I just think, like, I know we're going a little bit off topic, but I just think that'll give them the confidence now to go on all the way in the cup and go all the way in the league. I'm not saying they're probably going to go and win the cup as well, but I can't see why last night won't do her any harm. Like, you know, it's different. Like, you know, you look, let's say, Bohs, for example, they put all that work right in, and they put all the effort in, and then they lost on the lottery. So there's a difference, you know. It's fantastic if you win it, but I think Shamrock Rovers now will definitely win the game. I'm going to go 3-0. I think it'll be comfortable. And that's no disrespect to Cork. I just think Shamrock Rovers are just going to bounce back. Listen, we don't know what team he's going to put out.
I can see changes despite the break of a few days. I just think
definitely.
It might do them no harm, to be honest.
I would say he's probably going to make 6 changes, I would say.
Yeah, you think he'll make that much, yeah? Yeah.
I do. I think he'll make about 6, considering like they're in Europe again.
Yeah, I still think it'll be enough to.
Yeah. I still think it'll be 3-0, but I just think they have that. They have everything about them now. I think last night was the first time that they had to dig deep. Like they dug deep. In fairness,
you almost needed that type of result, Keane, because in the last few weeks they've obviously drawn the 2 games 0-0 in the league, and it's been a bit flat in general for them on a personal point of view, that they needed some kind of a backs against the wall victory, more so than needing a 5-0, let's say.
We haven't seen that from Shamrock Rovers in
probably since Dundalk. Not after the lockdown is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
It's Dundalk before, and they had against Bohs before the lockdown, but not since. So
no, I just think it'll set them in good fight now. And look, they have to be. I think they have to be favourites for the cup.
Definitely.
And I think they have to be favourites for the league. How well Bows are doing. But I'm gonna go.
I'd love to see a Shamrock Rovers Bohemians final. No disrespect to anyone else, but I'd love to see a Shamrock Rovers Bohemians final.
No, we won't. Not this year. We won't probably won't get to go.
Well, Pats aren't there, so.
Not this year. We won't get to go.
Oh yeah, that'd be horrible actually as well, wouldn't it?
Imagine that now. No.
Could you imagine the crowd actually? I know we're going off a little bit, but imagine the crowd. I mean, the crowd was big for Dundalk Rovers last year. Imagine how big it would be for Bows and Shamrock Rovers. Be great crack, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But just quickly on to Cork though. Cork, they had a bit of bad luck this week. Kit Simpson, the striker from Huddersfield on loan, got injured and he's sent back. So that's it's a bit of a disaster for them. I'm not sure how good he was, but I know Cork people are telling me out of the new players that brought over, he was the one that kind of was the more exciting.
Yeah, he looked the part now. He looked the business. It's disappointing.
With the biggest reputation, anyway. So
but the worst thing is, like, that's what happens. They're not your players, and you know you can't. Like, to be honest, it's Cork are relying on loan signings, and like they're not their players. They're gonna go back to their parent clubs in England or wherever, and they're going to, like, I'm not gonna say they don't care when they're at Cork. They're here to do a job. They're paid professional footballers, but they're not Cork players, and they have no control over certain situations like that. Big.
Loan, I think. Yeah, they've too many on loan. I think they would have had 5 or 6 on loan now.
Yeah.
It's a bit
low. Like, you know, they obviously have your man Davis up front. I wished. Look, I gave him a bit of stick before. We kind of, you know, I don't really rate him for Cork City.
Yeah.
I think they need to be, like, obviously have comment. Whether he's going to go back up front, we don't know. Not saying he's probably going to do any worse up front than he did at the back, but we'll say no more there. But I think, I just think they need another striker now. They need to tap into the free transfer market. They need to look at players who's not with the club. There has to be somebody out there. There has to be
few players that we're looking at and considering before they signed.
Exactly, like, yeah. Like, there has to be.
They're starting on a blank canvas. Like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
You'd have plans for that.
Yeah, there's always players out there.
Yeah.
There's always players out there, but they just need to find the right one for Cork. And look, they haven't got a striker since Johnny Maguire, and
he was almost too good, Keane, if you get me.
But they haven't had a striker since him though.
No,
Cummins came in. He done well for the first half of the season. After that, I don't know what happened. But I just think it's a little bit worrying considering that, let's say, the man up front is gone now. Oh, look, I fear for them again now. I do.
They're hanging on, I suppose, before we move on. They're hanging on quickly in the league. They're still only 5 points behind Sligo, which is mental when you think about it. So they're still there. They do look one of the weakest, I must say, but you never know. They're still there. It's not all lost for them. But
no, it's definitely not all lost. But like, I'm considering, I think they need a goalkeeper. I think they need a centre half. And I think they need a striker, and they could probably do with a midfielder. I'm not slagging by saying that. I honestly do.
I will say this though, I suppose a bit of good news from Gerald Morrissey's back, and hopefully he can give them a bit of leadership in the middle of the park. Because Henry O'Shea is a decent player. He's one of the bright sparks for them in midfield. So if you got the two of them playing regularly in midfield, it might give them a bit of a boost there as well. We all know how good Morrissey has been as well, and hopefully he can show some of that form. But
it's just very makeshift from Cork at the minute. It's just kind of like they're bringing these lads in. Now, look, there's obviously a plan there. I don't know the plan. But from the outside looking in, it's kind of like they're saying, right, we'll take him from Arsenal. He'll play centre mid. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what it's like. They're kind of just filling gaps where usually over the seasons, Cork, if they were bringing in loan signs and stuff like that, they'd be on the bench or they'd be coming on to make an impact. Like, Ocean is probably, let's say, the main man at the minute. And that's, you know, and that's, it's good in a way, but it's a little bit worrying, you know, for Cork City.
Oh, definitely 100%. Right, the final game, Bohemians at Cabinteely, Dalymount Park, Monday at 19:45. Obviously, we'll quickly touch on Bohemians' brilliant exploits in Europe against Ferrovar. so damn unlucky. I actually felt for them again, really, because this was by far the toughest tie out of the European sides, and they very nearly got through. I've talked about this, and I got a bit of slagging for it, but I mean, Celtic played Ferencváros and lost at home. Ferencváros are in the same league. They've won the league. Ferencváros finished second. The structure at Celtic compared to Bohemians. I mean, Bohemians, fantastic stuff. Just damn unlucky, wasn't it?
I just thought Andy Lyons was exceptional on the fullback. He played, I think, like a 40-year-old player. So experienced. That's why he looked so experienced. He just he looks about 12 in fairness to him. But my God, he's what a player he is. And
Chris Palace there a few months ago, Keane, and I think we spoke about before where Derry Pender retired. We felt like Pender probably thought, look, changing of the guard here.
Yeah, Andy Lyons was, he's thought of very highly at Bowes. Very, very highly, and so he should be. I think we'll give him, I would say, 2 seasons, and he could possibly be well across the water, doing really well for himself. But definitely the best right back in the league at the minute, in my opinion. I think he is exceptional. I really do. I know we're probably thinking who else is up there. Obviously, you like to see Sean Gannon and all that. But I don't think Rovers are playing Rona Finn there. Do you know what I mean? And I just think Rona Finn's kind of playing a wing back role. They don't really play with a proper right back.
I think Sobawale has done well for Waterford, but Lyons is probably on another level, to be honest.
Lyons was just exceptional last night watching them. I thought Grant and Twardek were just they were just so good last night. They really were. And I have to be honest, I thought I was looking at it, and let's be honest, they wrote that look in times in the game. You have to do that as an Irish team.
Exactly, they did write their luck. I think that's the point, isn't it? They came through it.
Well, I think they wrote that look. I think in the first half, in the first couple of minutes, I think they got a clear header from a corner, and look, it should have been in, no question about it. I think they had about, I'd say, 4 or 5 top class chances, clear cut, to put the ball away, and they didn't. But I'm not taking that away from Bowes. I thought they played exceptionally well. Keith Ward had 2 great chances after. I know he scored 1, but he had 2 really, really good chances. It was great to see how well they done against the side.
Yeah, exactly. Also, the fact they came through extra time unscathed, if you like. You know what I
mean? Yeah, I think it was backs against the wall in the first half, I think. And it was nearly backs against the wall for, let's say, the second. I wouldn't say the whole second half. I'd say the last 20 minutes. I think they nullified a lot of it. I just want to say, I don't know. I hope Rob Cornwall is okay. But I nearly jumped off the bed, and I'm not nowhere near the Bowes fan. But just to see the work rate, to see they were willing to die for that club last night.
It's reflection on our league team when you see that kind of thing, and obviously, we want our league to get looked upon favourably, let's say, by people outside the league.
What don't mean?
People with sticks waiting to hope the Bows or any team are beating 5 or 6-0 and go, look, our league is shite, whatever. This is why I don't follow it. This kind of rubbish. So it's great when you see that.
I thought, the thing that done it, and I says Bows aren't going to be beaten today, was when Rob Cornwall went down injured. And now he was hobbling. And he got his head onto a ball, he blocked it. Now, I don't know, he probably only had 1 knee at this stage, but he blocked it. And then you see him jumping and he's hobbling up, you know what I mean? And it's just they're willing to die for that club. And that's what Keith Long has done. And look, penalties is a lottery. I did think, you say to yourself, is that going to be Bowes' day when Dano misses the penalty? And now, in fairness to your man, I think he was off his line. That's the rule. But I think he was only about that much off his line, in fairness, when the ball was kicked. I don't think there was much in it.
I've seen a lot worse, Keane.
Yeah, I've seen a lot worse. But you think then, is this going to be Bowes' day? Do you know? And as well as the game went, they missed a couple of clear-cut chances. Let's be honest, Bowes had their chances as well. I'm not saying Bowes held out. Bowes were fantastic on the counter. I thought Twardy, I thought Andre Wright was super up front. He kind of
Underrated, vastly underrated.
yeah, but I know we're going off top. We're talking about the cup, but it was a great night for League of Hurling last night for Bows, and all credit to them. I'm disappointed that they didn't get the result they wanted, especially going all the way to penalties. But at the same time, we need to realise, let's look at the side they were playing, and I think they're going to get a hero's welcome when they come back to Dalymount. Rightly so, and they should be very proud of themselves. But it's great now. I've seen a lot of things, and I hate when they say part-time club. I hate when they say that because they're not. They're really not. These players work too hard to be called a part-time players. Some of them may have jobs, stuff like that. But look, what they done last night was fantastic for the league, and I'm very proud.
Yeah, definitely. They're a great example, actually, to the league, I have to say now. And so's Keith Long. Cabinteely, on the other hand, I know they've had a few injury issues the last few weeks. I know Bowls are going to make changes because they haven't made changes, but they can bring in, for God's sake, Danny Mandrew, for example. Maybe Dinny Corcoran. Did you mention him? Dinny Corcoran as well. So, look, I can't see a shock here. This would be the shock of the weekend for me if Cabinteely were to go to Bowls. No disrespect to Cabinteely. Well drilled, no matter nearly who they play in many ways. They can leave Mandrew out.
I don't even think, if you remember back to 2018, was it? It would have been 2018, yeah. Towards the back end, I'd say in around August, September, around this time in 2018, they came to Pats on a Sunday afternoon, wearing under 17/19's team, and put us to bed. That's the day Bucco got sacked the next day. Well, Bucco left. Yeah. But I just think...
it's a different situation,
isn't
it?
Yeah. I just think, though, no matter who puts on that Bowes jersey, they've players that come in for like. I don't think, I thought Dawson Devoy was unbelievable last night. This fella is a top player. Hopefully he settles down. I'm looking forward to seeing him. I do think he will get 90 minutes or something on Monday. I'm looking forward to seeing him play. To be honest, it's nearly exciting looking at Bowes lately. Not as a Pats fan, don't get me wrong. I hate seeing them doing so well. But look, they deserve it. They've been through an awful time. The fans have stuck with them. And, this is Bowes' time, I think, to really push on now in the FAI Cup. Look, they came so close. It wasn't last year, wasn't it? It was the year before last, wasn't it? They came so close in the semi-final. The penalty in the last minute to take it out of Turner's Cross then. But I just think they have what it takes now to really push on. They're only 2 points off the top of the table, let's be honest.
I'm starting to keen. I know it's the league, but it still kind of fits in a way. But I'm starting to think they can actually really push Shamrock Rovers, really push them, because
there's no reason.
There's 9 games left. They don't need to have a massive squad unless granted Twardy gets injured, blah blah blah. But that's like saying if Jack Byrne and Graham Burke get injured for Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Look, that's what's going to happen. That comes with it.
Yeah, they're definitely in with a shout, and they've got the team ethic and they've got the desire. And in a way, it's Rovers to lose as well. So
be like I said it last week. If Bowes win the 9 games, they're champions.
Yeah, as simple as that, but very hard at the same time.
Yeah, but it's it'd be an exceptional story for the League of Ireland. Yeah, I really would. Bowes have what they've done, what they've achieved. Look, I'm not jumping the gun. I still think Rovers are in pole position. I still think they're favourites, but there's no reason why Bowes can't do either. Bowes tend to do well against Shamrock Rovers as well.
It's just a pity, Keane, that the game was cancelled for next week, because the timing of it would have been superb.
It's still not cancelled, I don't think.
Is it not officially cancelled yet?
It's not official. I think it's still going to go ahead.
I hope it does.
Yeah, I think it's still going to go ahead. That's on Air Sport, isn't it?
I think so. With the timing and everything, I think it just fits the fixture list perfectly. It'd be a shame because of a training camp.
I'd change that game to last day of the season and see what happens.
It could work well, and then it could backfire, couldn't it? Because it could be
Yeah.
over by then, maybe as well. It could be 3 or
No,
4
it's
points.
I fancy Bows to beat Cabinteely. I'm going to say 2-0. I don't think they're going to score an awful lot of goals.
He'll do
That's
it.
I think they'll do enough to win the game. Be 2-0. I think it'll be comfortable. I think a lot of Bows young lads will get a run out. I think the likes of Tooney, a player I rate very highly. Dawson Devoy, I thought, like, I think I seen him play 3 times before, but my God, last night he showed us what he's about.
He's a local lad, Keane. He's from my neck of the woods.
Yeah,
He's a very quiet, unassuming lad, but it's a good thing as well. So he goes around his own business, and he's obviously focused on playing, and another player that could end up in England as well. But I think with Cabinteely as well, I honestly think Cabinteely be thinking, look, especially with the few injuries that they've had in the last few weeks, look, they'd be fully focused, honestly, on the first division. I honestly don't think
they'd be focused on the first division, but like I says, kid, what's 3 or 4 games and you have a cup in your hand? So I can't see them, like, the season is long enough. Sorry, the break is long enough.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to come into effect for anyone. I don't think in the league. I think everyone's going to be able to win it. It's a nice little distraction as well, because Cobh will be looking, if Cobh gets something out of it. Like I said, there's no pressure on Cabinteely tomorrow. I'll be at the top of the first division, sorry, on Monday, but there's no pressure. There's no pressure at all, and Pat Devlin will have them well drilled. Eddie Gormley will have them well drilled. They know exactly what to do. They're going to stop Bowes playing. Look, it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it on Monday.
I'm going to go Bowes 2-0 as well, by the way, so I'm the exact same as you. So, right, guys, we'll leave it there. See you next week, and thanks again, Keane, for coming on.
No bother, thank you.